Hi everyone, it's Sylwia here. So today let's talk about being vulnerable, slowing down, not being afraid of your emotions. So a lot to cover today, but I believe everything links together. I believe all those topics are basically connected with each other. So talking about being vulnerability, we can't not talk about emotions. Talking about emotions, we cannot talk about a little bit slowing down and really connecting with yourself. So let's dive into those topics. So first of all, I would like you to really think about, how do you feel about slowing down? How do you feel about taking things slower than you usually would? Rather than rushing all the time and telling yourself that you have to do something, what it would be like for you to really take a deep breath in and a little bit slow down and tell yourself, no, you don't have to do those things. You can choose, but you don't have to. So, once you know the answer, I know the answer for me. Before, and not even that long ago, believe it or not, that concept of slowing down was not for me. It wasn't, I believed I had to keep going. I was very much in my masculine energy. I was, strategy. I was knowing what I was when I knew what I have to do. Things got done. I was very much in my logic mind. I was doing things step by step to get things done. So then, the concept of slowing down was introduced to me, and I'm like, there's nowhere in my life I can actually slow down. There's nowhere in my life when I would just, no, I would, no, at the beginning, that concept was alien, completely alien for me. I didn't know where to start. I don't know what that meant, and on top of that, the concept of slowing down, it was making me feel very anxious. I didn't like it because, number one, I didn't know what to expect. Number two, I didn't know where to start. Number three, the slowing down, I thought, okay, now so what now? Like, if I slow down, who will run my business? Who will, who will see my clients? Who will do lives? Like, what do you mean slowing down? Like, what does that mean? So I was very confused at the beginning, with the concept of slowing down, but then as I was, but just because I didn't know didn't mean I just pushed it aside and rejected it. I was curious about why slowing down is so important. Why am I hearing this more and more often? What is going on, really? Like, what is the universe telling me? Like, why am I, even for you to watch this video, you probably in your life you could slow down. So this is not coincidence that you actually watching this video. So the concept of slowing down, it really can confuse us. It's like, well, we have to pay our bills, like we still have our lives to live. What do you mean slowing down? So really, slowing down is, from my own experience and how I do understand slowing down, is to get a balance between every single aspect of your life. Because slowing down for me, that's exactly what it was. Not only focusing on my business, not only focusing on my clients, not my company, I had to refocus sometimes to, for my kids, for my husband, for myself, family, friends, different concept. I had to kind of rebalance my life again. At the time when the slow down concept was introduced to me, I was a student as well. I was finishing my master's. So, as you can see, I had a lot of balls in the air that I had to keep juggling. But, usually my main focus was on business, and then was my family. my kids, my husband. Then there was me, and then the different, it got smaller and smaller as, as the list goes on. But that is not what life is about. So for me to slow down, it was really to start to refocus, maybe on a different aspects of my life, of who am I really, asking yourself, who are you? You really need to kind of slow down to answer that question truly and honestly, because how you supposed to answer who you really are if you don't connect with yourself, if you don't know that, and you can only know when you really feel connected with yourself. So slowing down for me was, as I said, finding a balance between different aspects of my life. And that was challenging sometimes, not always, but sometimes, sometimes it was, So what really helped me with slowing down was to put a very firm boundaries, that they were not bendable. Like, once the boundary was up, that's it. No one were able to cross it. No one was going to bend it, shift it, change it. Not acceptable. So once I said, let's say I'm off at the weekend, I was off at the weekend. There was no way I would come to work. There was no way I would think about work. There was no way, I was somewhere else. I invested my time to something else, to somewhere else, to someone else, it depends. But again, I refocused and I allowed myself to do that. I didn't wait for permission. I didn't wait for my husband to tell me, you know what, you should actually take a day off, or just let's do something. And I didn't. I gave myself that permission. It was my responsibility to slow down and to really start looking after a different concept and different aspects of my life, where exactly my focus is missing. Where am I missing in different aspects? What am I neglecting in my life? So that was my responsibility. So slowing down for me, as I said, it was looking after those aspects that which I myself neglected, And it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to do that because we are so busy. Life gets busy, things needs to get done. It's normal. But it's your responsibility, it's your life. So how you live your life, it's totally up to you, And with this whole concept of slowing down, there's something else. There is this aspect of letting go and letting be. So what I mean by that is, I'm sure you heard so many times, oh, you have to let go, you have to let go of this. What does that mean? Let go. Like, I'm not holding this physically, so how can I let it go? Like, go. It was, again, my kind of word gaming, but, what exactly it means of letting go? It means, for me, again, it meant that I convinced myself that I had to do something, be somewhere, be someone, and in meeting those expectations of I need to be or I have to be. And I let go of that belief. That belief is no longer my belief. I'm choosing who I want to be, how I want to show up, and who am I really. And that's my choice. No one else is telling me what I should be or who I should be or how should I behave. This is my boundary and I'm choosing who am I. I'm choosing who really and how I really am showing up here. So that's completely my choice. So letting go for me was taking extra maybe responsibility for who I am and allowing myself to be that person. Not waiting for somebody else to give me the permission, not waiting for someone to approve or validate me. I don't need that. So letting go was really the perception of me where I kept myself small. That was me letting go. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe I'm not good enough. That was my letting go. And then on the other hand, slowing down, but also with the idea of letting be, it was be authentic. Be authentic with yourself, with who you really are. So number one, you have to let go of keeping yourself small, not doing it anymore, but and choosing who you want to be and how you want to be and what you want to be. And then on the other hand, you got to be authentic with yourself. You can't pretend that if you're going to expect yourself to be happy 24/7 and feeling so excited and euphoric, it won't work. We're not built that way. You can't feel 100 you can't feel all of the time happy. You can't feel all of the time, full day, 24/7 excited. It's not realistic. And to allowing yourself be that and feel that and owning that, okay, I am happy in general, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be jumping up high all of the time and how excited I am. Happiness is more of the mindset rather than a feeling. Happiness is something that we are rather than we feel. It's about being than doing. So again, letting be is more of, number one, knowing who you are, but then owning that part where you might not feel happy, excited every single second of the day. And that is a challenge for many of you. And there's a lot of pressure on us that we need to be happy. We think positively, positive vibes, positive thinking, everything needs to be positive and everything needs to be good. But there's a thin line between being authentic but also having a positive kind of mindset, the happiness mindset / I have to be positive. I have to think all the time positive thoughts, because if that is crossed, if there is a pressure that you have to be happy and you're forcing yourself all the time to be happy, that's not authentic. That's not real. So you then jumped to the other side where it's a toxic. It becomes very much toxic for your own self, for your own well-being. Don't go there. So being and allowing yourself to be real means you got to own your emotions. You got to own who you really are, how you feel, and allowing that to be. You allow to flow through all these things that are happening inside you. You're allowing yourself to experience what comes out for you. You're not blocking it. You're not stopping it. You're allowing to flow. So what happens, let's say, when you have a sad day? Does that mean you're depressed? Does that mean your life is ending? Does that mean that's it, impending doom is coming? Does that mean that's it, no more, no excited you? That means we will never be happy again? How do you treat yourself when you're sad? Or maybe on the other hand, it's no, oh my god, I feel those emotions, that scares me so much, I need to do something, I need to get busy, I need to call a friend, I need to arrange some date with someone, I need to go out, go to cinema, I need to get busy. It's panic, run. and you do something, like it will get you out of the, but then it's like you're doing it, then you be on the date, you're watching that movie and you don't feel it, you're not present, you're like, oh my god, this is a struggle, this is difficult, oh my god, again, slow, the sad feelings are creeping in again. You're forcing yourself to be somewhere, feel something that you don't feel. And then when you do that, you take the authenticity out of your life. So that creates disconnection from yourself. So, talking about emotions and how do you really treat yourself when you're sad? Are you allowing yourself to be vulnerable? Are you allowing yourself to be angry? Are you allowing yourself to be sad? Or you tend to either mask those feelings, or run away from it? Or are you actually allowing yourself to be and to feel? What it would be like if you had a sad day, and rather than running away or masking it, what if you would just embrace that? So, okay, I'm feeling really sad. I really, yeah, I really feel sad. What would I need? What would help me to be in that state of me trying to force any change, or any pressure, or put any pressure to change that? What if I would just get myself a blanket, hot tea, and put a movie, like a sad movie, that will really project how I really feel. So that will allow me to cry freely. That will, when your kids come in, like, Mom, what's going on? Like, why are you? What's happening? And you're like, because she is sad. So you can. You can just leave it. You can just be it. But the thing is, we don't do that. We don't allow ourselves to be authentic. We're running away all of the time. But when we do that, we're really running away from ourselves. So, again, try to just give yourself permission. Just give yourself permission to really feel how you feel, and set a settings that, make, a scene, or like atmosphere that will allow you to really feel your emotions. If you're angry, why won't you go and, I don't know, gym, and get your energy out, get that anger out? If you want to punch a cushion, do it, but make sure it's safe. Or maybe when you're angry, you want to scream, so put like an angry music out loud, and you can scream your voice out, like, with the music. But it's your responsibility to create that space for you. You are co-creator of your life, so you got to start feeling yourself and allowing yourself really to feel how you really feel without being afraid. But it will be so much easier, when you actually create a space for you to do that, to feel your feelings, to feel your emotions. The reason why we keep running away from our emotions is because we're too afraid of being vulnerable. We are so afraid to be vulnerable, that we're so afraid that something will break us, or something, will makes us on the place where we feel very fragile, where we feel very too visible, maybe too exposed, too oh, we just want to mask it and run away like from the situation. But it doesn't get us anywhere. Because those feelings, unless you allow them to flow through you, they will sit there. And it will allow you, like your soul will allow you and your body will allow you to keep ignoring your emotions and be authentic until some point. Until your higher self would take charge and something happens that you will be brought right back to where it all started. But only you'll be in a much more worse place. So it's your responsibility to look after yourself properly, to create a space when you can be vulnerable, when you can do things for yourself. And being vulnerable is so much misunderstood, maybe, because we believe when we are vulnerable, when we are exposed and when we cry in front of somebody and we feel just very weak in ourselves, we think that makes us even weaker, that people will won't like us, or people won't accept us, or people will reject us, or they will laugh at us. It's quite the opposite, the truth, because when you are vulnerable, when you're allowing yourself to be that exposed, even just with yourself, there is a hidden message to your subconscious mind, and that is, I can handle this. I can beat this, feel the way I do, and I'm still okay. Like, the world is not ending. Like, my life is not ending. I'm vulnerable. Yes, I feel shit right now. But around around yourself, it's like everything still exists the same way. So does that mean I can handle this? I can handle myself? And then when you do that, you automatically will feel stronger with yourself. You will automatically feel, oh, maybe I can trust myself. Maybe I can focus on my relationship with myself. Maybe, I should build a relationship with myself. Maybe I can rely on myself a little bit more. So, being vulnerable really allows you to be authentic. And then people who, let's say, see you let's say you always has this mask of, I'm strong, I got my shit together, I got this, I got that, I know the stuff, I know how I figure out life, I know everything. And then something happens and it breaks you to the point where you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And then people who never saw you like this, they all of a sudden see you as a human being. Like, oh my god, he actually or she actually feels something. And then you're able to connect with people on a different level. And being vulnerable like that, it's showing you that you got this. Like, you don't have to hide, but it's still you. It may be a different version for now, but it's still you. It's part of who you are. And you're not ashamed anymore of that. You're not ashamed to be fully you, to embrace yourself fully. That is power in itself. That is very much powerful. But then it's your choice whether you're going to own that power or not. This brings me back to my own experience that happened to me actually this week, because I've been very much challenged. I'm the doer, I, as I said, I pretty much allowing myself and feeling myself way more comfortable in the masculine energy, where I'm doing, where I'm thinking, when I'm organizing, when I know what to do, make plans, and all of this. But then I also like to meditate. I like to be, just by myself in a quiet room, a few candles, when I can just sit with myself and think. So that I am very much aware of those two aspects. But when it comes to my life, my business, I'm very much in my masculine energy. So when I was so much busy, especially now in September, and it's for me this time it's very busy. I've been challenged to take a break. And what does that mean? Like, being challenged to put everything aside and prioritize myself. I had to cancel, like yesterday I had to cancel all of my clients, all of my plans, and to look after myself. And to my surprise, I find it quite difficult to prioritize myself that much. Here and there, weekend off, no problem, no issue. But when it comes to when I already had plans, when I already has arrangements, and I had to rearrange my diary again, my masculine energy was like, "Whoo, holy shit, control." So I was very much aware of me, of how, of my reaction, how I felt inside me. And that was a huge challenge for me. And yet there was this fight. Will I trust it? Will I not? Will I surrender to this experience, or will I not? Will I fight and I won't do it? But then it's my feminine, it's like, breathe, you're okay. You're safe. It's fine. You got this. But I breathe. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I had to remind myself that prioritizing myself is actually a good thing. And yet I felt very vulnerable. I felt very vulnerable yesterday, and it was, but I allowed myself, I asked my husband to make me tea, to hug me, and give me your shoulder, I need to cry. So, and he's very supportive. In fairness, he's always very supportive. But again, I have created that space for me. I took that responsibility where I could feel vulnerable, and my kids were like, "Mom, what's happening? Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I really have a tough day. I don't feel quite well. I will feel better tomorrow, but for now I just need to feel the way I do. And I will be with you, I will be around you, but I'm okay. I'm just a little bit vulnerable, but that's okay." So they're like, "Oh, Mom," and they give me a hug. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And my son was rubbing my head, like, "He'll be fine." And I know I will be, but it's just today I just need a little bit time for me, and with being quiet and slowing down completely, so yeah, I'm talking a lot about mental health, well-being, being in your power, stepping into your power, owning yourself, and feeling fearless. And even though you are afraid, you still do the things and you still chase your dreams. I'm that person. I am, everything what I speak, and how I speak and what I do, everything is that is like, I'm the evidence that everything what I say, it's pretty much how I live my life. So I get you when you think, "Oh my God, like slowing down and prioritizing yourself, what the hell is that?" I really get you. I really understand how difficult things can get sometimes. But your job is to feel it, be it, but not give up. It's fine. Things always work out. Always. No matter how hard things get, it's going to be okay. So, my challenge hasn't ended yesterday, unfortunately. It looks like it will go on for another while. So, there's something I'm embracing at the same time as I'm here talking to you, as I'm seeing my clients. I need to park everything and focus on one thing at the time. So, today, now I'm with you, I'm here with you, fully on, fully with myself. Yeah. So finding a balance in, especially, in situations like that, it's very important. And I'm telling you, I'm giving you that advice to you now, but really that advice is to myself as well. And I'm going to own that. I'm going to own myself, and yeah, I know I will be fine. It's just I need some time to heal, to rest, and take it easy. So, yes. So I wish I wish you to really connect with yourself, be authentic with yourself, be and do things you want to do for yourself, and don't be afraid of being you, because that can be a scary concept aspect, but being you is the best gift you can give yourself. And having said that, I'm actually teaching much more detail in my Fearless Soul Masterclass, which you can find the link below this video to that masterclass and find all the information about it. So, my dear people, I think that's us for today. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you very soon. With loads of love, like always. See you soon.